Welcome back. Uh, every day when you read the newspaper, you come across the gory news, very upsetting news about knife crime in the capital. So far, probably 13 or 14 persons have died as a result of such crimes. See, Mr. Mamnun, you are a very patient observer of things happening around. See, what do you see in this crime? See, it's not stopping, it's not somehow being checked, not being arrested, but it's going up and up.
This is correct. And what happens is, you see, people who are affected by this are the most vulnerable people in society, whether it's very young people,
Yeah,
in
mostly
their teens, teenagers, or perhaps the elderly.
Yeah.
A lot of people who get these knife crime, meaning stab wounds, are the ones who would be people who won't be able to resist this.
Right, right.
The
Pensioners.
Pensioners. The aim is soft targets.
Yeah.
And this is happening, as we were talking earlier, is on account of, partially one of the reasons is the drug cartels that prevail in London and big cities as such, is something which is very territorial. I was watching in the morning this, what show is it, between 10 and 11, the lady who conducts the show.
Victoria Derbyshire?
Victoria Derbyshire show. I don't watch it very regularly, but once in a while I do when I have the time and I don't have to go out so early in the morning. Is I've noticed that she was talking about how children or teenagers have to be with gangs. The way it was portrayed in BBC is that in certain circumstances it can become inevitable. Once a situation like that prevails, it's again, the mafia concept. It's very unfortunate, and you have either you're a part of it or they might even kill you if you're not. So it's very difficult for people
to resist
or not be a part of one or the other. It's also a bit of a protection racket.
Right.
The important thing is not, because school is so much a part of a child's life. What I mean by a child is someone under 18 growing up, that in their teens they have to be with a certain group.
Yep,
It's protection.
They have to be recognized to be a part of a particular group.
It's leading to crime. This is very unfortunate. I think government should take some rigorous measures how to contain these sort of things. And I think schools should, people who are teaching in particularly schools have to be extra cautious, because they're more qualified to teach young people. It's easier to teach adults.
True, true.
But when you're teaching young people, you have to have the training and to sort of be able to nip a situation in the bud, so that this doesn't prevail.
Right. I mean, this is a very good point that you've raised, that to teach young people under 18, you need the
extra qualifications.
You see. I used to teach at a university, so I didn't need to have this particular training. See, and I was interviewing somebody who holds a PhD and DSc and XYZ from so many universities, but he also has a PGC. And I said, why did you need this after all these qualifications? He said, to teach at a school, you have to have this certificate or postgraduate
training,
diploma training in teaching. See.
Yes.
This is a very pertinent point that you have raised. You see, and not armed with that kind of training, people can be rather harmful more than useful to the
Yes.
the system.
Here I'm not ruling out the role of parents.
True.
Some children, again under the age of 18, are unfortunate that they may have single parents.
True.
But that doesn't matter. I mean, even if they have both parents, there seems to be a certain kind of consciousness lacking. Well, it's also on account of economic things that with both parents working, how much time do they have for the children?
Right.
I think we have to carve out time for our children to make sure that they are in the, they have the right space to grow.
Right.
What I mean by right space to grow, I'm not talking about physical space,
Right.
but I'm talking about
Emotional.
mental space, emotional spaces. Look into them. Find out where things could be going wrong, what is the matter of concern with them.
But this, this is easier said than done, you see, because despite the fact that no parent would like to lose a child, see.
Absolutely.
They have their economic demands on their time, see. They have got to work. The father has to go. In the absence of a father, single parent, as you said, the mother has to work, see. And then the child goes out. Sometimes a 16-year, 14-year, 15-year-old child is very difficult to control. He's not a machine.
It's a difficult period, but nonetheless, I think both teachers and parents
Of course, the
have
society,
to be very
the entire society.
vigilant, have to be very vigilant about what the child is up to.
But we expect a lot from the school, the teachers, then the social workers. This is a social welfare state, but a nanny state, as some would like to say. But we can't expect everything. See, the responsibility comes again, as you said, from the family.
Exactly.
It has to be fulfilled. It has to be looked after by the family. I can't just shrug my shoulder and say, he goes to school, he spends about 6 hours, 7 hours there, they should look after him. Yes, but he comes back and he spends 17 hours at home. So
a lot of time goes in sleeping, reading, writing, and extracurricular activities. When you look into extracurricular activities, that's where
the problem is.
And the space of little time that you have to be vigilant. I mean, a young man or a young woman in their teens growing up would not like to be followed around.
Right.
I can understand and appreciate that. Why? Because you go through, how should I put it, a rather rebellious part of your life.
Well,
but without you showing that you're watching them, or that's what I mean by being vigilant.
Right, being vigilant, see. We were talking just before the break, we were talking about what's happening on our subcontinent. See, Kashmir is a big problem. Not for us, not for you, and not for them, but internationally it seems it's a big problem because it's a flashpoint. Something can happen any time between the two nuclear power nations, you see. How do you see, why has this particular problem not been solved since the departure of the colonizers?
Well, the travesty of events is the colonizers did not clearly...
Or the colonial masters.
Colonial masters did not clearly demarcate a lot of areas.
Right.
If we look into present Bangladesh, and where we have the biggest ethnic majority from our part of the world, from Sylhet.
Right.
If you look into the Sylhet, which is now a division, if you look to a place like Sunamganj, which is now district, certain areas which had Muslim majorities like Karimganj and Zakiganj, they should have come to Pakistan despite voting. Certain other areas which had Hindu majority like Jagannathpur, like Tahirpur and others, which were closer, one closer to Hindu Assam, other closer to what is now the Meghalaya state, having Hindus, should have gone to India. But sir, Cyril Radcliffe was no geographer. And then what had happened was...
Well, our people were not geographers either who were there.
No, but you know, you take it or leave it. We're leaving now. That was the idea, hands off. You see, which caused a lot of problems in Punjab. And you had a Dogra Maharaja who had wanted to give it, Ranjit Singh wanted to give it to India. But it wasn't in, it was, had to be done. What did the people want? People in Kashmir were 90% Muslims and wanted, their leader Sheikh Abdullah wanted a separate state.
Yeah.
In 1947-48, after war, the first war with Pakistan, and whatever that's come out of Kashmir, what is called Azad Kashmir, Pakistan monitored Kashmir, was done by conquest. And after a war, and then what was the result? There was a UN resolution that everyone accepted for plebiscite. The right of self-determination was never given to Kashmiri people. It hasn't been to date. You had Muslim collaborators, and there were times when we questioned Sheikh Abdullah, his son, his grandson. But leadership went into a lot of other people. Syed Ahmad Gilani, Maulvi Farooq, various other people. And then what happened was militancy grew. And militancy is there to date. And this group, Jaish-e-Mohammed, pulled something which is amazing. No military could have done it. They went and bombed a part in which 44 soldiers died.
No, but it is
70.
How can one say that it was Jaish-e-Mohammed? Because
well, they have claimed it also. They haven't denied. Why are they doing it is the important thing. It's not a question of why Bobby Sands killed himself, but who did it. You see, they said we do it. Why? Because we want a plebiscite in Kashmir, the right of self-determination. The insurgents did it, whether within India or outside India, but within greater
But this has been going on for a long time,
yes,
these killings.
And I think we are coming to an end, and I feel there'll be a time when Kashmir will be free. You see, that's why, you know, you have this term, Azad Kashmir. The idea is to give them freedom, and they can decide where to go in the plebiscite.
Well,
in the valley, there's a lot of problems.
I have been to Muzaffarpur, isn't it? That's the capital. Muzaffarabad, yes, I see. This part of Kashmir is not very scenic and beautiful or anything like that.
The valley is very beautiful, which is Srinagar and others. Muzaffarabad is in the higher plateaus, near the mountain peaks.
The other areas like Kagan and they are beautiful areas.
Yes. Yeah, Pakistan's got the 7 peaks after Everest. They have a lot of beautiful places. And if you pass from the old GT road from Pindi to Lahore, not the new road that they've built.
No. Do you think that the present situation of returning this prisoner of whatever, what do you call it?
Prisoner of war, shot down by the plane.
Abhinandan, Wing Commander Abhinandan, it will help diffuse the situation?
I think it was a magnanimous gesture. No one returns an enemy pilot who came to bomb an alien territory outside their own and send him back immediately.
Was Islamabad under pressure to do that, or they did it?
I don't know whether they were under pressure. I don't know what happened in the mainland is something which was happening in sporadic ways for a long time. What has it resulted in? Where there were years of 2015 and 16, if you look carefully, more than 1/3 of the calendar year, there was curfew. The Indian Army was also conducting a witch hunt. which was a part of a vendetta. But you know, I don't think that could bring peace, you know, and stability to the place. And Kashmiris are very nationalistic.
Well, we are coming to the close of the program. Mr. Syed Mamnun Murshid, thank you very much for being with us, and thank you for coming along despite
Thank you
the
for
bad
having
weather.
me. Well, we have to sort of weather the storm, as
Thank
they
you.
say, you see.
Thank you. Thank you
You
very
see,
much.
Thank you very much. It's such a pleasure to be with you.
Pleasure is ours too. Thank you. Thank you for being with us. We hope that you've enjoyed the show as much as we have, and we hope we will live in peaceful times. Until we meet again, same time, same channel. Goodbye.